remaining.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Star Ladder I-League Invitational Season 3 Chinese Qualifiers. I am Luminous, I'm joined by Tsunami, and you guys are watching LFY versus Vici for the Grand Finals. This is going to be a best of 3 finals, and we are well on the way with our first phase picks. We got Bane and Batrider for Vici Gaming, the Fenrir Bane. We saw him tore through the lower bracket finals. 2 games in a row, made some huge plays and great ganks. Of course, the Young 11 Batrider at one point in that game, 7-1-7 as off-lane Bat, amazing stuff. But on the other side, so far, looking pristine in the winner bracket, I believe only losing 1 game overall, is LFY. We got the Lich first pick and the Inflame Doom, one of the 2 heroes that he could actually play.
Well, we'll see what he's capable of. I think he's won 1 and lost 1, so he's split on the Doom. But Bane is cruising at, I believe, 100% win rate on Vici Gaming this week. Okay. So Fenrir is more than comfortable on that, and I still see an unbanned Ori Death Prophet still potential in the pool. LFY bans out Tusk, which is the other duo that was run by Vici Gaming. It was the Bane with Fenrir and Lanham Tusk, so they show respect to the Tusk, but I still see that Death Prophet lingering in the draft. You think LFY will let it go?
Well,
no, they
never
don't.
mind. I was gonna say Super also plays the Death Prophet, so maybe they think about, and they have the first pick out of the ban phase, so they could snatch it for themselves. But they're like, nah, let's not play with Ori's DP, not this game, and they do take it out. Yeah,
I don't think that the Bane necessarily needs either of those heroes. The way Fenrir plays it, it was mainly just like a early lane winner with some enfeeble tactics on the mid lane, and then afterwards it's just not even like you're relying on nightmare setups or you're needing Fiend Script to disable heroes. It's just Fenrir knows how to play the hero very effectively without anyone else helping him.
Alright, we're gonna see the Kunkka pick up here. Of course, you could also X the Bane. Even if he's standing in place, you could X and then take it back. That will cancel the Fiend Script. You want a bad way to do it? I guess the better way to do it is use your Torrent Bolt, but you know what I'm saying. More importantly, when Batrider grabs one of your allies, you could X and then cancel the Bat Lasso. That also works. So, yeah, good stuff here from LFY. Pretty stable picks here so far.
Yeah, they've been favoring this Lich quite a bit. Teams have been banning it out against him quite a bit. And whenever it's unbanned, LFY has been quick to grab it. It's just not necessarily a flashy hero by any means, but one that just kind of, you have to reevaluate your draft. We see many teams just refusing to deal with the Ice Armor and just avoiding physical damage at all costs, trying to get most of their damage in with magic, which so far Vici Gaming are pretty magic heavy.
Ooh.
Clockwork, Batrider, Bane, all magic, and Void as LFY's carry.
Yeah, so LFY reveals their first major core, faces Void as a carry. And I gotta say, with this pick, I think it does pretty well with what Vici's got so far. Both Batrider and Clockwork are not really good matchups for the Void. Obviously, you could initiate onto the Void, but I think this is one of the best Lincoln Sphere Void game that I've seen in a long while, right? You got both Bane and Batrider that the Lincoln's going to be amazing against.
Yeah, it's actually very true. We've seen Weaver's been somewhat popular, although Vici Gaming did ban out Weaver, but Faceless Void is a very comfortable Lincoln's builder, has been proven time and time again. And once you have a Lincoln's, there's not really much that you can be concerned about right now. Death Prophet has been banned out, so no real silence heroes are that popular. I mean, I guess you could go for Silencer, but we haven't seen core Silencer at all this qualifier. So you're going to be protected against Bane, you're going to be protected against Batrider, and Clockwork Initiation could be irritating, but you can just time walk out of it. So I really like this Void pickup quite a bit, and Vici Gaming are going to have to think of some core heroes that can lock down a Lincoln's Void.
And more importantly, this Void also opens up some nice 5th pick here for Super. Of course, like Invoker Sunstrike coming out from the mid lane with the Chronosphere is always very nice. Although I don't think Super actually plays Invoker, you know, too mechanically demanding for Super.
Clearly. He needs himself a DK or a Viper.
Actually, he played a sick Lina yesterday. Remember, he was just actually high grounding with that Lina getting dayless, out damaging the enemy cores and stuff.
I wouldn't go so far. I wouldn't go all the way to sick. It was pretty good, but
He was beyond
one
godlike
step
at
at
one
a time.
point. That's like
yeah. But I mean, he
I
also
mean-
had like 12 bloodstone charges by the end of the game.
you had to hit wicked sick before you get beyond godlike. So
5 seconds remaining.
True.
all right, so the reply is the Monkey King. Now, we're not a pro Monkey King on this stream, but one thing that he does do very well is that he lanes extremely well against both Doom and Faceless Void. So no matter what the lane matchups are, I think Vici is gonna have decent lanes.
LFY's turn to
I've never been too concerned. Oh,
Baby,
okay.
let's go.
I don't know about that pick, to be honest.
Why not?
Well, again, my main concern is Void, and Monkey King one position we've seen time and time again. They never really, early on, get the damage to make Boundless Strike intimidating, and so Void is not going to really be concerned, even inside of his Chronosphere. And Arc Warden also provides no stuns. Yeah, sure, he provides tons of damage, but Faceless Void is a, you know, not a common Manta builder, but he can build into it, and so that makes Flux kind of useless against him.
Yep.
And he's a hero that can close gaps very quickly, which means that Magnetic Field is also not very big of a concern to avoid.
I think the reason that they pick Arc Warden is that you could get a very easy, good Orgic builder, Bloodthorn builder, and you could actually have 2 of them for the price of 1. So that is the idea. Oh my god, I hyped up the Super
snap.
Pugna yesterday.
Oh, snap!
Here's the thing, though. I think Pugna gets wrecked by Arc Warden in the lanes, right? Like, he definitely needs help. He definitely needs help.
Yeah, he needs help, and Afu can help him. Afu does pretty fine. Generally speaking, it's almost always in your best interest to dual lane an Arc Warden mid, I think, because a lot of his laning dominance comes from Flux, and if he can't use Flux properly because there are 2 heroes muting the Flux, then that means that the hero's kill potential isn't that great. And it's not like Arc Warden has high damage of his own, so it's not like his right clicks are that big of a concern. So I don't know why Pugna, but I'm okay with it.
I guess Pugna Decryptify helps you survive against, let's say, Monkey King stuff. Monkey King's all physical damage, right? Wukong, as well as Boundless Strike. Boundless Strike's physical as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so maybe it's something like that. One thing I do want to mention is, you mentioned Monkey King as a position 1, but yeah, he is a position 1 hero, but I think teams have been playing him more as a position 2, if that makes sense. Like, it seems like the most successful Monkey King games are the ones that there is a true carry from the mid lane. I remember the pairing of Monkey King plus OD, and the OD eventually just carry from the mid position. So I think Arc Warden is probably an ideal setup partner for the Monkey in terms of the farm distribution and stuff like that.
I agree to an extent, but the thing is that most of the times that we've been seeing that mid laner transition into the carry, they're usually like a pretty tanky carry. Like, we've been seeing a lot of Vipers with the Monkey King. Earlier in the series, we saw a Razor with the Monkey King.
Yeah.
These are heroes that are able to frontline and let Monkey King kind of not have to be face first in the fights. But an Arc Warden's not really capable of that. At least not until maybe like 30 minutes in. So
Arc double pipe Warden? Excuse me?
I've thought about it before, but I don't think I don't think it's the game.
Double Crimson Guard? Let's go.
You know, double mech is actually technically somewhat viable because the stack timer for mech is only like 25 seconds, but the cooldown for mech is like 65 seconds.
I think if you're looking for a defensive item, pipe is probably the closest one to being okay, but it's still very dubious. But
chances are he's going to be going pure aggression with the Bloodthorn, like you said.
I think the bigger concern for Arc Warden is that Doom is just so amazing against him, right? Because you just Doom the Warden and you're shutting down billions of net worth. Not only him, but also his illusion stuff, right? So
exactly.
I'm
because
surprised
Arc
that
Wardens also dump all of their net worth into active items because that's the purpose. Your Tempest double can use an active item, but once you're doomed, and that means that if you can't get your double out, then you're pretty screwed in a team fight.
Well, we're gonna watch this mid matchup. So far, it's gonna be a 1v1. So the idea that Ori wants to do is shove Super away from the lane, and cast a Flux onto him. But Super, one thing he can do is just shove the lane in. He's got the better nuking spell, and now with the 2 creeps on him, trading very nicely. And denies the range.
Yeah, Pugna has ever so slightly higher base damage than Arc Warden, but I'm curious whenever Flux gets up and running, because Pugna's a pretty speedy hero, sure, so he can get closer and further away from the creep wave, but still Flux is, like, Pugna's not a tanky hero, and if you are not next to any units and you get fluxed, you're going to lose a lot of your HP.
Yep. And this is the first time in many games that we see a true 1v1 on the mid lane. Take me back, man.
Yeah, right now, Kunkka's been chilling on the top lane, hanging out this... I guess Void was kind of dodging the Monkey King, and it's working, but this is still like a inconvenient lane, as we see Fender is a big fan of this Enfeeble first build. He actually did not head mid with it, he opted to head straight to bother the Void with it. So, he's not having a pleasant lane right now, but I'm sure it'll be fine as time progresses.
Okay, well, Ori's definitely struggling a little bit on the mid lane. Lich, Doom on the bottom, a very strong defensive dual lane. There's no way you actually kill this lane. Frost Armor and Scorcher, both available onto the Doom.
Yeah.
But still, you could harass them pretty hard.
I really like the way Super's playing this lane. He knows that if he just sits around and 1v1s like a traditional lane, then he's... Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Ornn's gonna hit, right? Ori taking a ton of that damage, and now they have an X on him. That's gonna be first blood for sure. The question is, wait, first blood? They will grab the first blood. Super is gonna survive this as well. They only have to dump away the Afu Kunkka, but for Afu, that's just a free trip back to the fountain. Very worth for LFY.
Yeah, great rotation by the Kunkka. The other reason why I like Super playing the lane is because he's just constantly pushing the wave. He's not really interested in, you know, maintaining equilibrium or anything. He's just shoving Arc Warden under his tower constantly. So even if he does want to go for a Flux, he has like 10 creeps standing next to him. So Super doesn't have to be worried about, oh, if I'm getting rotated on or anything like that, I'm just going to take your tower, or if you're gonna stay around here, then I'm just gonna push in your wave. As now Clockwork has an Invis rune.
Yeah, but there is a ward. Seeing that, well, as I say that, he's gonna still just die here, I think. Okay, he's gonna disrupt himself, but then, yeah, the nuke's gonna come through. They do a lot of damage to Lanham. Lanham.
Nice dodge by Lanham.
Right. Good stuff. Afu tried to cast it from fog, but did peek his arms out of the trees.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he got caught by that, because like you said, there is this ward that saw Clockwork pick up an Invis rune. Now Fenrir has decided to migrate to the bot lane, where Inflame is an Ursa creep, not necessarily the best creep for a Doom, but he'll take it.
Oh, you'll eat another one. Alright.
Okay, he has a net. He can last it with skeletons, all according to plan. Who cares about Enfeeble?
I gotta say, so far I'm liking the lane setup extremely well here for LFY. I was a little bit concerned about the Monkey King, but I think that Doom Lich reply is very smart. Also, I'm surprised that Super is able to win this lane. I think on paper, Arc Warden wins it, but the way that Super play it, like you mentioned, very smart. And of course, the Void is dodging all the worst lanes, so he's doing okay as well. LFY looking really good here in the first 4 minutes of gameplay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
Lish is also getting plenty of experience right now. Has gone for a 1-1-1 build. This early point in Ice Armor makes it less likely that Monkey King will be able to get a kill on Doom, so Doom's allowed to play a little bit more aggressively. And this is definitely not as high impact of a Bane as we saw in the LGD series.
Yep.
This Fenrir, he's irritating people, but he's not really like winning any lanes for the areas of the map that he visits.
Yeah, I think in the second game where he was able to partner up with the Mirana, he was very active. Oh, Fenrir trying to TP out.
He has a net. I don't know why he didn't net him.
Did he forget about it?
I don't
Might
know.
have. And now the Batrider survives top thanks to a very good Nightmare.
Paparazzi's trying to turn this bot lane around. DDC's one auto attack away. Now Paparazzi has no tree dance, but Scorcher times out, so he could level tree dance now if he
just
wants.
walks it
and
off.
He does.
Yeah. It's fine. So gets a solo kill, gets away with murder as well. Very nicely done.
Yeah, unlike some like Meepo's Ensnare got nerfed that it no longer disables TP or disables channeling spells, but the Dark Troll Warlord definitely disables channeling spells, as that's one of the most popular ways to deal with a BKB Enigma.
Yep.
But yeah, he didn't disable it, and you said that Fenrir ended up nightmaring up top to save someone?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, then there you go.
Paparazzi goes right under the tree here. Boundless Strike gets another solo kill. So this lane might be strong when they're paired up together, but when they're all separate.
Mid lane, Decrepifying Flux. Oh, what a cog. But it's still gonna get the kill.
That's gonna be enough. Ori pops that first usage of the ultimate quickly. Gets a reply back. They can shrine together as well. Looks like Monkey King has teleported in for the shrine.
Top lane, Fenrir taking quite a bit of damage, gonna get torrented up. Young 11 doesn't have very much HP to help him with, but Flux comes in.
Yep, and now there's nowhere near Monet. That's going to be one kill. Flux cooling down in about 10 seconds, but they will have nice rotation here from the Doom. That's going to be one more kill, but they will lose Afu as well. And now, immediate target switching by Ori. Wow, Lanham coming out of nowhere. And Ori is being able to pick up a ton of these kills. He's going for Hannah Midas, and he just got a triple kill.
Feels good. That's the kind of rotations you always dream of as a mid laner. That's why you always buy a TP as a mid laner, because you never know when you'll be able to turn something around like that.
But you never see this kind of rotation done so well.
Yeah, well, done so well or go so poorly for LFY.
Right.
Because this is the problem with Arc Warden. If he's allowed to pick apart your heroes whenever they're diving and none of your creeps are around, then that means that Flux is going to deal a ton of magic damage and your team cannot come close enough to turn it off because you're diving.
Yep. Now whenever I see, hold that thought here, nice torrent into an X setup, and that is gonna be a kill. Ori, no, Nightmare,
oh, what a
still
nightmare.
alive right now. Ori's gonna try to walk it off. Well, yeah, he's gonna be fine. Fenrir. What did you say? He's not making plays? Saved 2 heroes so far. Fenrir trying to get that brain sap off Torrent. Not gonna hit. But they got super once again.
Yo, what a nightmare. Plays for days.
Alright, you gotta ban this Bane, dude.
Yeah? Because that was the one they showed the least respect to. They were like, Lanham Tusk, not gonna have it. Ori Death Prophet, not gonna have it. Fenrir Bane? Sure, why not? What's the worst a Bane could do?
How's it feel? Balance the
Just save 2 kills, turns around a couple, you know, basic support stuff.
And Ori on set for like a 9.5 minute Midas, most likely.
Yep. This is
So the bot
after
lane, they're going in on Young 11, giving him suckety suck.
he's out.
He's out.
By the way, the Pugna is a very, very like farm dependent, lane dependent hero. The fact that he goes 1 and 3 has not destroyed the mid tower. It's actually a really, really bad sign for the hero. Because he's so
Yeah, and this
squishy.
double, which is why he went for this double null talisman build, which usually I'm surprised by, as now DDC is taking a ton of damage.
Jeez.
Please turn off that flux.
Okay, okay. Alright. Walks away here from the Wraiths. Well, I could definitely tell that Ori is a Arc Warden spammer, as his control has been quite tight. Solo kill by Young 11.
What? How? He doesn't even have lasso.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If you stack 3 to 4 napalm on the Void, he might be able to jump the first wave of nukes.
Oh man, mid lane, Pugna is
Chain Frog
trapped with a...
gonna fly in. Lanham's gonna go down. There you go, the last bounce, and Super barely survived. Balance strike! Oh god. A little short.
Wait, so what about Void?
Yeah, you could jump away when he goes on you, but then the bat says, okay, I'm gonna keep going on you, and then what does Void do? Nothing. If you have 5
I
or
suppose.
if you have enough stacks on you, he could just run you down.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, still though, like, he used his magic stick as well, and it must have been 10 stick charges, but he still dove and got away with it.
Yeah.
I guess that's because so much attention was drawn to the mid lane, no one could rotate to help Void.
And at that point, he didn't have level 6 either, so Young
Well, they see Doom.
has lasso yet?
He
Nope.
turns on the scorched earth, and oh man, he's fast, but not
Well,
fast enough.
But here comes the entirety of LFY. Looks like Young 11 will punish with this one with even no kills. So, good job slowing him down.
Pugna's still not really pushing, instead opting to show up to these counter ganks.
Monet getting that fancy footwork off, jumping across the cliff. But this is danger time. Ori has the Midas on, and he's double Midasing every time he's off cooldown.
Ori has Midas, Fiend's Grip is up and running for Bane, Hookshot is up and running for for Clockwork, so they can start making some plays here. They know.
Oh, he's going right
It's
in.
not the idea, but you'll take it.
Well, he's gonna take a ton of that damage. The bolt's gonna come in defensively as well. Lanham gonna go down. They trade 1 for 1 so far. Finra gonna get
Chain
bounced back.
Frost.
Chain frosting so
the
much.
Chain Frost.
Well, it's gonna get killed here. The ward zapped him down as well. That Chain Frost, the most value Chain Frost in a long time. But here comes the Bat Rider. Napalm him again. You're gonna
Run, Lich, run!
I mean, he's tower diving
His
this.
Tranquil Boots are about to kick in.
Lasso, he has it, and that should be a kill. Monet, the bashes is
the
so
bashes.
real right now.
Holy crap, he's still taking so much damage though. It's
Right.
was.
You got a bash into a bash. I think if he didn't get the second bash, the Bat Rider survives there. Maybe not. He got time dilated.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Man, that Chain Frost, though. Poor Arc Warden. That's what you always, like, when you're playing Witch Doctor or Lich, those are the kind of situations you always dream of.
Right.
Where they're, like, just trapped by themselves.
Oh, no big creeps here for Arc Warden. Time to double your Midas. Bottom
You
lane?
gotta finish your food.
Okay.
Chrono. Life Drain.
Alright. Clockwork
Hook
poke.
shot.
Ooh, nice find here. That's going to be the most important target. Burst him down. Super dropping low and fast. He's going to go down, jump forward. There's going to be one more Balance Strike on the left side. DDC. Also going to go down. Good recovery here after the Chronosphere got spent.
Is under attack.
Yeah, even though Pugna is being very active, instead it's Doom the hero that's pushing towers, and I feel like it should be the other way around. I haven't seen Inflame use Doom a single time yet, and they are definitely fighting a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Doom, even though he's working towards a blade mail, I feel like he is, well, first of all, way tankier to get these kills, but I think the reason that Super is joining these kills instead of Doom is that Super could burst people down much faster. We saw the Chronosphere being used. I don't think the Doom could contribute too much there for a quick kill, whereas the Pugna can.
That is true, but then I'm concerned that Pugna's gonna continue falling behind because, yeah, they're pushing and they're getting objectives, but Pugna's usually giving his life away, and right now he's pretty poor. I mean, he's third highest net worth, but
he's
if
doing
you're
better
this far
than
behind,
he's doing better than his whole team, so I guess
he
it's
is. But Pugna needs to be like doing much better than his whole team. This is a slim lead that he has above Doom as now. EDC.
okay. Yep. The hook was good, and then all of LFY came in, so Lich survives. And now they're wondering, oh, is there wards here? What happened? There is no wards.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Inflame has a DD rune, and his blade mail completed.
Okay, Bat Rider, is he gonna just look for the
Fire.
kill? The Doom's gonna be
wow.
there, but the grip also got spent, so it looks like Chu Ultimate's gonna get traded. He's gonna walk under the fire.
He's walking in the blade mail.
I don't know about that. He could just get nightmared. And he just might get nightmared.
man.
Fenrir has a
No,
lot
Bat
of
Rider's
movement
gonna
speed.
survive.
He's still got the fire
He
turned
turned
on.
on Scorched Earth. Yeah, he's gaining a lot of HP
Body
back.
block, but he's phasing through it. Boundless Strike's gonna come through as well. Another Brain Stab coming off cooldown. Good body block coming out from Fenrir. Do we have more Nightmare? No. They want to switch target to DDC. DDC's in the trees. He's gonna pour it out. Meanwhile, looks like mid lane, Kunkka joined up with Super to get a kill on Ori.
Yeah. Got a combination, and Boat wasn't even used. I guess it was just a extended life drain, as Arc Warden does not really have any good way of getting out of life drain, so possibly a Torrent Decrepify life drain combination. That's a really big pick.
Yep.
Not only is it time spent of Arc Warden not farming, but it's time spent where his Tempest Double isn't using Midas.
Oh, we don't know if it's been used. It might have been used already, so.
True, but the Tempest Double is off cooldown though, so at the minimum, the Tempest Double could be farming something.
Right. Yeah, I think Pugna as a hero always is deceptively high nuking power. Like, even though there was no bolt on the mid lane, I'm pretty sure 90% of the damage was contributed by Pugna. Simply off,
I mean,
like,
he's maxed out Decrepify, so 60% increased magic damage.
He's going for Aether Lens as well, which is a pretty standard build, and now...
Oh!
Quick blink.
Quick.
Alright, Bat Rider will go mid immediately, and this is a great move because they just saw the Bat bottom. But there's a ward here, seeing the rotation of the Bat Rider.
Actually, both teams have like a lot of wards out on the field. There are 4 Dire wards out and 3 Radiant wards out.
This is a really well-played game of Dota.
Yeah, this is... I guess it's just a reaction to the fact that there are all these not oftenly seen heroes here. Like, Arc Warden is not oftenly seen, Pugna is not oftenly seen, Doom and the Bane are also heroes that aren't too popular these days. It's now bot lane, hookshot connects.
Got X right back, and now they Pugna is really exposed here. Great grip to start things off, and now lasso on 2, balance strike on 2 as well. Pugna still control, he's dead. Good pick-off squad. And they grab 2, Pugna being one of them. Despite the Pugna's depths, he's 5, 6, and 5, but still very high up on the net worth. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how he's getting away with this. I guess he's probably just spending all of his unreliable gold at like a very religious pace because like normally when you have that kind of score, you do not maintain your net worth that easily.
I mean,
but
he
he's
has...
keeping pace with a Paparazzi who has 0 deaths and 3, 0, and 4.
Yeah, he also has 20 more CS than Ori, who has been Midasing and jungling, so... I mean, we don't often see Super play Pugna, but he's also... I think he's the best Pugna in China. Well, he might be the only Pugna in China, but...
Yeah, I can't think of any other competition.
Right, but... Well, that just shows you something, right? Where the rest of the region doesn't believe in a hero, but they still pick it for him, and he does very well in it.
Well, we've theory crafted it earlier in the qualifier against someone like Necrophos, but it seems like Arc Warden was the secret that they were waiting for.
I don't think Pugna is good against Necro because it's so easy for Necro to get hood. But, I mean, I guess Arc Warden could technically get hood as well. Envy out there saying you could get hood.
Oh, Monkey King gonna jump in.
But he jumps out.
And jump out, but he got X'd.
And now the bolt's gonna come in. Would it disrupt it in time? No. And now the life drain will come through. Chain Frost. And there you go. Monet finds himself Clockwork. Chronosphere gonna get spent. Mask of Madness activated. The bash, bash, bash. So many bashes. And they take him down.
Birth is a promise. Death, it's fulfilled.
Man, once Super gets Aghanim Scepter, it's going to be devastating.
Yep. Looks like he's working
Because
towards
he's going for a
Lincoln.
lot of mana items on the way. Like, usually the biggest thing about Pugna Aghanim Scepter is that they'll get it early, and it's very effective, but they'll only be able to use it, like, once or twice. And, God, look, it's like shredding that Tempest Double.
Yeah, you know what? It makes a lot of sense now. Super might get initiated on, but the Flaming Lasso, they have the X. They can cancel it
Nice
immediately.
X.
They do, but... Oh, he wants to fight this. Nightmare use offensively.
Oh my God, the decrep damage.
Ooh, the Doom just a tad too late. LFY gonna fight in. Great Clockwork Hook. Oh, the Force Staff though. No pushback. Balance Strike coming back in. Good stun here onto the Doom. Doom gonna get blown up. The boat's gonna fly in. They're looking for a little bit more. 11 out of mana at this point. Can't really follow. So all of that just for a Doom kill.
Yeah, just for a Doom kill, and Monet was farming the entire time, didn't even bother showing up to the mid lane engagement.
Yeah, so before that fight, I wanted to talk about why they picked the Pugna against the Ori
Arc
Warden. And I think it's the reason why that he just kills the Tempest Double so easily. A lot of people just send the Tempest Double willy-nilly to farm, but you gotta keep in mind that if that thing dies, it's 180 gold. And for a Pugna, he has no problem killing it with Decrepify, Life Drain, and Blast.
Yeah. So often you'll see these Arc Wardens build very right-click heavy, so it'll be like, you got Maelstrom, obviously the Midas's attack speed, you've got the Bloodthorn after that, but you don't need to be concerned about that as a Pugna because you can just Decrepify it, and not only is that going to make it easier to kill, but it makes it so that he can't right-click you and deal any damage to you whatsoever.
Right. Now, some Organ players do itemize BKB in the late game, and you could just keep activating the BKB on your Tempest double.
Time is money.
But the problem with that is, I think in this game, he's really hard-pressed to first get those farming items you mentioned, and then he needs to get Diffusal Blade, because you need to get it for Decrep.
Bot lane, Young 11 has lasso. They're
Double
bullying
damage
this Doom.
on Paparazzi. They get the kill, and he wants a little bit more. Young 11 goes in, but... Oh, he is dead here, right? Well, actually, they want to save him. Push back, gonna be there, and now jump back in. Monet's low. Monet's dead. Good bait here by Vici. They get one more, but the X back on Paparazzi. Torrent's gonna be there. Where's the Pugna? He needs to join the fight. Pugna on the north side comes in against Ori. Oh, the damage against Ori. Ori
God.
dead. You do not lose vision to Life Drain. Life Drain just have permavision. And now another blast comes in. That's another kill. Paparazzi up on the trees. He forced out of it. And Paparazzi will pour it out. Man, Pugna comes in and he just does so much.
Yeah, the buff to Life Drain, not losing vision, and then after that it got the buff to True Sight as well. It was devastatingly a big buff, because no Pugna should really be able to get away with it. The biggest problem of Life Drain is that it's channeled, so you have to stay still while the enemy team moves away.
Yep.
But the Decrepify, freaking 60% slow, Life Drain giving you the permavision so that you can't escape from it. Arc Warden has a Force Staff, but like even then, it's difficult to break the range whenever this Pugna has Aether Lens on top of that.
Well, especially he used a Force Staff to go in that last fight, which looked good at the time. I remember Pugna used to be so silly. You get ulted and then you just turn around, plant a GG branch, and they're like, "Oh fuck."
Right.
I lost my ult, but yeah, now the fact that Seeks is kind of insane.
And I like the fact that he went for this Decrepified duration talent. Like, so often you see Pugna as like a pure pushing hero.
Right.
But he's like, I'm not really using Nether Blast for anything. I would much rather have the bonus damage and the bonus slow on Decrepify for 1 extra second. And so I imagine that he's going to go for the cast range talent after that, which means that I don't know what the normal range of Life Drain plus Aether Lens is, but I'm sure it's probably going to be like 1400 break distance at that point.
Ooh. They got some cheesy ass pushing strat too. X onto Nether Blast. Ugh. That's gonna be hard to defend.
A lot of damage. 370 damage. As now Lanham puts out a cog. Does not accurately hookshot onto Fenrir.
Oh, he's gonna straight up die here. The question is, who's gonna die else on the back line? Doom walks right into the Monkey King, loses all of his mana. Chain Frost is flying through. You gotta need to deny this Bat Rider. Deny him, please. No, nobody denies him, and now there's an X back on Paparazzi. He's also gonna get caught. They lost 2 so far just for the Lich, and they'll lose 1 more.
Another bless.
Good stun. Jump away.
There's no damage on him. No, they're.
I won't give up.
Alright guys, we're 23 minutes in. We got 41 kills and only a 1k differential in this game. Well, I guess this is a grand final game. Meanwhile, Ori has been relatively silent since his laning stage. Has farmed up a Pike as well as a Maelstrom. And now looks to finish his BOTs.
Dire's top tower is under
Alright, so is Pugna able to get away with this just this game, or is this just the way that you need to play Pugna? You don't play him as a raw pusher, you play him as a ganker, a damage dealer, almost Queen of Pain style.
Yeah. I think this is more of the super spin. I still think he's a fine tower pusher, but I mean,
Well,
whatever.
yeah, but like, can he get away with this against any draft? Like, did it need an Arc Warden pick for this kind of strategy to come out, or is this like a grand final strategy, or what is it? Because Super is making this look so easy right now. I was skeptical of his laning phases now. Hookshot connects onto the Doom.
But he has Blade Mail. He turns it on, and okay.
Freaking! Oh, he's still. No, he's still.
Yep. Chronosphere, that's gonna be onto 2, and Pugna on the back line. It's just blasting left and right here. That's gonna be 2 more kills. LFY running over Ori says, take my illusion, or rather Tempest double, excuse me. We'll get off the value Midas before it dies, but that's 180. Wait, did it time out?
I don't know. I think it timed out.
I don't see anybody getting the 180.
Yeah, I didn't see DDC getting any gold for that.
So, to answer your question, I think it's a combination of all the right variables. So first, it matches up extremely well against the Ori Arc Warden for all the things I mentioned. It also combines extremely well with the Faceless Void. And also, in this draft, you have both Doom, Kunkka, and the Void to tank in the front line for you, which is pretty rare. Normally, when you pick a mid laner is like, think of Viper DK. He's supposed to be the one tanking for the team, right? but this time it's kind of the other way around. So I don't think there's any single one thing that makes a Pugna pick great. I think it's more of a combination of various variables.
Yeah, I agree with your frontliner thing, because this is also like a polar opposite strategy to what we usually see Super playing, which is the frontliner. As now Inflame might get hooked by Lanham.
Alright.
Nice blind hook.
Ooh, they also get the one +1 on the back as well. The Doom's gonna come through. He's gonna try to take one with him.
Doom damage.
Oh man.
No denying.
Man, Lanham was going hard here. He just went into the Doom who had the Blade Mail turned on, so which is just like made him die much faster. Vici could be actively denying these kills, but
Now Ben tried, but it was too much DPS.
holy hell, this game is
A little bit of recovery from Vici Gaming.
yeah, this game is really action-packed, and I think in terms of broad theory, that's really bad for Arc Warden, right? Arc Warden wants nothing but a slow game, because the strength of his hero is that he gets a split push with his like map mobility through BOTs and the active of like the Mjolnir. And you get to farm a lot with, you know, each and every Midas use. But with so much fighting, I'm sure he's been dead once or twice with Midas on cooldown. And it hurts the Arc Warden.
Yeah, we'll see if LFY can keep this pace up though, because Arc Warden is starting to become larger and larger. Completed up Pike, has his BOTs on his Tempest Double, so the farming speed is increasing dramatically, and looks like he wants to go straight for Mjolnir after complete up the Maelstrom. Is Paparazzi looking? Or rather, about to be looked upon when he gets out.
By the way, Monkey King has the Diffusal Blade finish, which combines extremely well with the Wukong command. We saw it last fight against the Doom. He dropped the Wukong command, purged him, and then all of a sudden he just lost his entire mana pool. So.
Well, Diffusal Blade we've been seeing, but Echo Saber seems to have completely fallen off on Monkey King. We're finally seeing it here.
Yeah.
And those two items put together are very effective, because normally there's no slow to keep your enemies inside your Wukong's command these days, because Sange and Yasha doesn't seem to be that popular, and I guess, like I said, Echo Saber hasn't been that popular. Right, and so we've been seeing like a lot of Mask of Madnesses on Monkey King 1 positions,
right.
But this Echo Saber Diffusal is really effective at keeping people inside of your Wukong's command.
Yeah, Diffusal does double duty, countering the Decrep as well from the Pugna, so it's just a very good item purchase. Here comes the smoke here from Vici. Thinking about going into the pit.
No, they don't have any medallions on their team.
LFY perhaps in a very bad spot. They're in the low ground. Super could get grabbed. They break the Lincoln. They grab him out. And now there are ports coming right in. Can they kill them before the pop? Super is still alive, but he dies to the Flux. The Chronosphere on 3. Bolt on top of him as well. They will lose the Tempest Double to survive from Vici off a beautiful initiation. Man, they just couldn't kill people fast enough. And then as soon as the Void came in, that was the fight.
It was really all in the Void. Boundless Strike hit 4 out of the 5 LFY heroes, but the 1/5 hero wasn't Monet's on this Void, so he got a Chrono off. Once the stun wore off, Kunkka was able to pour in a boat, Lich was able to get a Chain Frost off, and sure, the Pugna did die, and that was really smooth to be able to pop off his Lincolns and grab the lasso, but man, the team fight from LFY, even without that Pugna, is devastating.
I think the very next item Ori has to go after finishing the Mjolnir is Hex. Hex to me is like... Hex on Arc Warden is very similar to Hex...
Or Bloodthorn. I think Bloodthorn's okay also.
There's a link... Yeah, either one, right? Just some way to control. I think the Hex is more reliable, but obviously the Bloodthorn is better for damage output and I guess they're both relatively similar. Bloodthorn might actually just be straight up better, you're right. But either one, you just need a way to actually control and get picks. You can't just farm until the rest of the time, you know? Oh,
yeah,
he queues up the Hex for now. But he might switch to Bloodthorn as the game goes on.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, right now there are 0 BKBs on the... Oh, actually no, there's 1 BKB on Doom, which is a 10-second BKB, so he must have completed it after that fight. And now Monkey King has a BKB. Okay, so BKBs are starting to come out. Spell immunity is starting to become an issue, but that's a bigger deal for Vici Gaming, in my opinion, than it is for LFY, because if you get BKBs on your Vici heroes, then that means that Pugna's damage potential gets eliminated completely.
Right. Well, until those BKB drop down to 5 seconds. And yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Vici still has the suns that go through BKB, namely Fiend's Grip, as well as Lasso.
Lasso, hookshot, yeah, they've got answers.
On that note, though, LFY has Doom, and they have Chrono.
Which is being used on the Batrider. Purge to slow him.
Time is money.
Radiant's
Yep,
bottom
that Batrider is dead.
Bottom lane, we do see Ori pressuring and pushing towers. This is the stage of the game where LFY really needs to be very careful protecting their tier 2s. Because if you have open tier 3s against Arc Warden, you might be fighting somewhere, and then suddenly Arc Warden makes a teleport play, and you could just straight up lose Rex.
Yeah.
Actually, against the BKBs that are coming out, Hex is just better than Bloodthorn, right?
Well, technically yes, but the idea is that who's going to be dealing damage now? Because Paparazzi went for a BKB, which is a great, again, survivability item, but not really a damage item on Monkey King. And so, Doom is going to get larger and larger, Void is going to get larger and larger. You need someone who's able to go toe-to-toe with these heroes, and so far, you don't really have that between the Monkey King and the Arc Warden.
True.
And if you go Sheepstick, your initiation is great, but still, you are lacking in damage.
And what we saw in the last engagement is they did initiate on the Pugna, but they killed him too slowly. And they, like, Vichy as a team just doesn't have a lot of burst damage. And Bloodthorn might be the reason, or might be necessary just for that burst damage.
Yeah, now Doom is working on a Shiva's Guard. This dude already has... He actually, where is this? Oh yeah, his Lich has Ice Armor. Yeah, so between Lich Ice Armor, and I'm actually wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a Frost Ogre himself, as now he gets lassoed on the mid lane. And it's very tanky, but not tanky enough.
Yeah. Frost Armor did do quite a bit of work, keeping it alive. And now we do have Ori coming back in. Clockwork Hook. Yeah, we'll find one, but the Force App's going to be there. And now Monkey King jumps right into a Chronosphere. And will get brought down very quickly. Void now going right onto Lanham as well. Nightmare being used defensively, trying to port out his Fenrir. Fenrir, no! I think the lightning bounce from the Monet hammer just kills him. And the X timer goes off. Monet will go into the Roshan pit. 3 deaths so far. The game has been relatively even, but I do believe Vichy is about to fall pretty behind now.
Oh my god, this damage. Poor DDC is getting obliterated by Arc Warden. He's gonna die. No, the Ice Armor saves him.
The Flux also wore off at that time, so.
Right.
Well, you were asking who's gonna do the damage. I guess he is. All by his lonesome self.
Well, yeah, sure. I would hope he can kill a Lich. It's not Lich that I'm worried about. It's Doom and Faceless Void.
Right. I think the problem with that last team fight was Monkey King jumped in, and I think the tree got eaten or something like that. He got stunned, and he didn't use BKB. And then the Chrono got him.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how he got off the tree, because I don't think that he was able to cast Wukong's command either. And so, yeah, I don't know what happened to Monkey King, but that definitely spelt the end. And Arc Warden was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with this fight.
Well, Arc Warden very close to finishing that Scythe of Ice. Got a tier 2. I mean, he is insanely farmed. He's leading by 6,000 net worth next to the closest person, and they're on the losing side.
True, but it's the problem that we've mentioned many times before, that it's a very top-heavy net worth, because he's 6,000 ahead, and then his Monkey King is 8,000 behind him, whereas there's a Void and a Pugna who are beating the Monkey King. And Monkey King, the 1 position, has basically the same farm as the Inflamed Doom 3 position.
I think Arc Warden's one of those heroes that could use that farm. So, we'll see if it pans out. Is there any
That's true. I mean, it's like Alchemist a lot of the times as Fenrir.
Nightmare? Anybody coming?
Here.
Yeah.
BOTs on the Pugna. I thought it was going to be Arc Warden BOTs, but Tempest is already out.
Tempest is out, and the main hero also down.
Yeah.
I guess that's a sign of a well-played, or rather, an efficient Arc Warden, right? He's always across the map farming, but did miss out on that 1 kill opportunity. Ooh,
now Batrider might get spotted out by Doom. Straight into the Doom. while the rest of his team pushes mid as the Sheepstick comes in onto the Faceless Void, but it's just a Tempest double all by himself doing nothing.
Yep.
So that's just going to go down. And Batrider dies. Doom doesn't even follow up.
Takes you.
That's gonna be another tower.
Dire's middle tower
Seems like
has
Inflame is
fallen.
really all about this Doom DPS. Takes it here again.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
really good because more often than not, like, you have to follow up on your kills. Because sometimes you pick Doom just because you're like, I don't want this hero to cast any spells.
Right.
But a lot of times that, you know, it's a 16-second Doom, like that's how long the debuff lasts. Sometimes fights go longer than that, and then the hero regens up, and then they come back, and you were able to eliminate them briefly, but then they activate their BKB, they activate their active items, and then you lose the end of the fight. So Doom DPS just makes sure it guarantees that you need to go back to base or find a shrine or some sort of heal before you decide even think about coming back to a fight.
I mean, another way to look at it is essentially double damage for your spell. I think it does 50 damage, and then it upgrades it to 95 per second.
Right, yeah.
That's insane, right? Like double damage for
It
Doom.
is.
Alright, here we go. High ground temp here. Smoke up on the team. And here's the thing. LFY could just slowly siege this with the Pugna range. I mean, he could do this forever.
Aether Lens plus cast range, yeah,
Is
it's
under attack.
it's not as much as Life Drain, but it's still quite a bit of range.
I mean, if they want to play really safe, they could X super up and then have him walk him and X him back. Like this.
Well, they
this-
have multiple Lincolns. They have a Monet Lincolns that he's putting on Super, and then Super has his own Lincolns.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have the way to pop through it. But yes, there is the threat of hookshot, so if they do want to play super safe, they could just X him. Oh,
Oh.
double Lincolns are popped,
Okay.
but it's all good.
If they wait, they could X.
Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're
Radiant's
gonna
top
X.
tower is under attack.
Boom, 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 boom.
Alright, looks like they'll back it up for now. Interesting that they did back it up, because that push looked really safe. It seemed like Vichy had no
and
play
they still
against
have
it.
Aegis on Monet.
Yeah.
Like Monet, all the ultimates are up. I guess Doom is down, so maybe they felt uncomfortable with Doom being down.
Alright, the waves are all relatively push and slow.
Yeah,
It-
even Arc Warden was like, I can't send my Tempest double
Right,
away.
they were so
because
pressured.
If I lose my magnetic field, then you're gonna come up here and right click it. So I'm gonna force you to have to use Nether Blast exclusively.
Alright, you see Ori's illusions are constantly getting disarmed by Pugna. So he really can't take those fights. I think the next item is the BKB. He has it queued up. In fact, he's almost done with it. I mean, the crazy thing with Arc Warden is every time I talk about his next item, he'll just buy it in like a
Already
minute.
Practically has it.
Yeah.
This will come in handy.
And Bad Rider is also closing in on a BKB of his own. So far, Young 11 has not really had the impact that we've kind of built him up to have in the previous games, but that's just a product of how LFY is playing. Every single time that he goes for an X, Kunkka's immediately hot on his trail with a X return, so no lassos are completed. Chronosphere is a concern. Doom just keeps bullying this Bat Rider with constant solo picks.
I mean, he did get that solo kill on the Void earlier in the game. You're like, oh, how did he get that? So I think
That's
he's
true.
still looking for the kills. It's just that LFY, like you mentioned, has more tools to deal with them.
So we talked about Arc Warden's items, but what do you think Pugna goes for in this situation?
Let's see. Axe, Lincoln's Force Staff.
I would like a Lotus somewhere on the LFY team, but I don't think Pugna needs to get it.
Looks like Doom is working towards that Lotus already. So
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I think Pugna needs armor. He's only sitting at 8 right now. So him
Okay.
going for Shiva's Guard, it's a good defensive one. If he doesn't feel like he needs like anything pressing, Hex is always good. But I would put my vote onto Shiva's Guard.
Hex would actually be pretty crazy because all this talent in this Aether Lens would also boost the Hex active cast range, so
Right.
you could Hex a target from a long ways away. Now they're going into the Dire Shrine.
Oh, Chronosphere is going to be right there, and there's no save for this monkey, but he's very, very tanky right now. Looks like he will survive through the Chrono Shrine. Will get tapped. Clockwork Hook comes in. The boat defensively being used. Monet jumps away from the Cogs. The Cogs not helping out them. DDC loads the Chain Frost. He's still alive right now. And Doom on the backline just running the truck through the entire Vichy. Vichy loses 2. They will lose a Tempest double as well.
Is under attack.
Oh my god, and Monkey King, Oh, he just barely hits the shrine and survives.
Was that the Doom on him?
That was the Doom on him. That was, you saw Monkey King, and you saw him get chronoed, and you're like, huh, well, he's not dead yet. And then Doom walks in, dooms him, and he's like, alright, that's great. I don't want you to Wukong's command anymore. Please leave the premises. Nice boundless.
Oh, lasso, they're gonna drag him in the base. Do they have enough burst damage?
Cancelled.
Oh my god, and they didn't actually, with the Hex Chainsaw, he thought the lasso would have done a little bit more. The lightning gets a kill on the Monkey King. And now Super walks into the base, disarm Ori. Doom walks out of it, the boat to cover the retreat. And that'll be it. The Dire doesn't lose any Raxes, but a ton of resources gained by LFY.
Yeah, a ton of resources lost by Avicii Gaming. There was a 10-second BKB spent on both the Arc Warden hero itself and the Tempest double. Batrider actually did not use his BKB, so that's not that big of a deal. But yeah, Avicii Gaming definitely take quite a bit of a hit off of that. No buybacks spent either, so could have been worse.
Okay, Super answers your question by going for a BKB. Again, BKBs are not exactly, it won't make you immortal against this Vichy squad, but that's just one more thing that Vichy has to deal with. I think the biggest concern right now for Vichy is that if they initiate it on anybody other than the Kunkka, the X cancels the lasso. If you initiate on the Kunkka, then Void, you initiate on the 4th position support, and then the Void gets a free reign in the team fight. So it's really,
and even whenever you do initiate on these targets, like, we haven't even seen very many defensive life drains, but
yeah,
whenever a target maybe does successfully get properly dragged back with the lasso, Pugna has a ridiculous range on this life drain, and he can just pour. He's tanky as hell. He has 2,300 HP right now on this Pugna, and compliments of BKB building up his strength, so he can just defensively life drain a target like the Doom or the Void, and then so much of this resources that you commit to initiating will just get cancelled out by the fact that they can just activate BKB or time walk out.
right. Yeah, by the way, when I mentioned Pugna going for Shivas earlier, I totally forgot that he has Frost Armor on his team. So with Frost Armor on him, he's looking at a respectable, you know...
Doom used onto the Arc Warden, but he's gonna leave.
Inflame is very trigger happy with Doom. He's like, yep.
He really is.
Gonna go for a kill.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
But
Dire's top shrine.
they have complete map control. Even against the Arc Ward and Split Push. And they could just go into the Roshan pick, tick Aegis whenever they want. And then look to essentially win the game. I think with the next Aegis, they could get 2 lanes of Rex.
Yeah, but they're still content to slow siege it. They've got heroes that accelerate at a quicker pace. Like, yes, you had the Arc Warden with double Midas, but Arc Warden's capping out. He's practically 6-slotted already. You can get rid of the Pike, you can get rid of the Midas, and they're going in for Roche, actually.
Yeah, they're gonna do it
pretty quick.
Yeah, Hex coming on the front line, they call him away. They don't want to fight this Chronosphere. Grabs pretty much except Ori. Ori not sure what to do. He's now gonna go Monet, but not doing enough damage. Monet, however, doing way more than enough. Kills one. Wait, he's stunned right now. Monet jumps forward, gets so much of his HP back, and now disarm on Ori now that his BKB ends. He's still disarmed. The life drain repeatedly on Ori. Give him some HP. Super, what are you doing?
No, Super needs kills.
Alright, Super.
You don't keep your Void alive. I don't give a crap about the Void.
Actually, without the Void, they can't take Roche that quickly, so they're gonna go
Doesn't
mid.
matter. You take the base.
Yeah.
You take the base.
Alright,
He
Super.
should have defensively life drained. I don't know why he didn't.
I mean, he was just, I guess, wanting to get the kills, which is fine. He just one-shot the creep wave right now. Nether Blast damage upgrade on the 25 Talon. Oh my god, let's look at how quickly these buildings melt.
Well, Glyph is up. Let's see at what point they will be like, oh god, make it stop.
This
make
one?
the damage stop. A boom.
Dude. They're gonna take
Oh, that was not tactical. They didn't cancel out another blast.
Yeah,
you gotta wait for him to cast it.
Exactly.
Suboptimal play.
3 blasts, takes a Rax.
Oh, hookshot misses.
Alright, buybacks all coming out. Nightmare on Super. Somebody cancel that Nightmare? I mean, they cog him in. The boat
He has
defensively.
Force Staff.
Oh man.
Double Force Staff.
11.
He can turn this around.
11's X up right now. I mean,
Doom is back, and he has Doom in 5 seconds.
Alright, I'm sure he'll lob it out the instant he can. On the back line, it's going to be Clockwork trying to come in, but he's just giving HP to the Pugna.
And Flame, do it. I know you want to Doom someone.
Oh, he wants Ori
What are
really
you doing
badly.
standing around like that?
Giving some HP? Okay.
Oh, now he life drains. He life drains a full HP Afu.
I mean, he was, you know, might be in a little bit of trouble. Backs him up. The blast, the whole creep wave. Oh my god, it's so sweet to watch that. These siege unit, though, somewhat annoying.
Each Nether Blast deals 620 damage, as now Ori jumps in. BKB activated. He's doing quite a bit of damage, to be fair.
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine, he's fine.
Dude, whoa. Dropping very low. Blast comes in.
If you hold down
Yo.
over the Nether Blast, you can see it. It does 619.88 damage per blast. That's a freaking, like, Laguna Blade of damage on a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, AoE. That hurts
AoE.
buildings. Chrono on the
Chrono,
carry.
time lock.
And the train is coming through. Ori
If
dies.
you true sight,
Yep. And now, they will blast. The GG's gonna get called out. And the Superman Pugna has done it once again. We saw it a lot at the TI7 group stage. And we'll see it again one more time here. Beautiful Pugna play.
I was doubting it initially. He was playing the lane really well, but I was still skeptical about what he would be able to do against Arc Warden, but Super played that to perfection.
Look
He's
at the
definitely gonna be my
damage.
MVP for the game.
43k
It's
damage.
devastating.
Shit, man.
Almost 10,000 building damage. He basically took the entire base single-handedly.
Yep. Well, don't forget Afu with this 82, dude. He did
Oh, yeah,
work.
that made a big difference.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I
That
mean,
is.
Afu was playing really well.
Yeah.
The X cancels on Young 11's lassos basically like kept them from ever losing their lead in the early and mid game.
You know, we talked about who to focus on Vici because they were coming in hot from the lower bracket finals. You know, we're saying ban this hero, ban that hero. I think a hero that you want to shut down, and I mentioned this multiple times for LFY, is Doom and the Prophet for Inflame. Don't give him a comfort hero. I think he is the most unstable player on the team. And if you can shut him down, you have a good shot at taking it to Game 3. But for now, we'll take a break, and we'll see if Vici Gaming can bounce back. Game 2 coming up next.